Hello and welcome to White Glove Reviews. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the discontinued Wenger SwissBuck Globetrotter. And if you aren't familiar with the SwissBuck knives, what they are is they're a series of knives that were made jointly between Wenger, one of the Swiss Army knife companies, and the Buck company. So let's take a look. Now, as you can see, one of the obvious differences is the scales on these knives. They have the little Buck logo, and they have sort of a, I don't really want to call that knurling, but sort of pseudo knurling for a little extra grip on the scale. Now, this knife, if you're interested in one of these specific exact knives, you can usually find them on eBay. They pop up every now and then. If you want a comparable knife, the Tinker or the Sportsman are pretty close by Victorinox. And I'll include links in the description for the Swiss Army Knife wiki page if you want to know more about the SwissBucks. And I'll also include a link to the Sportsman and the Tinker if you are interested in either of those. So let's take a look at this knife. So this one has the traditional little nail file, which is pretty common. Now, one of the interesting differences with these is the knife blade. The knife blade looks very different from the usual Wenger and Victorinox knife blades. I'll get this one out. See, quick comparison. This is a Victorinox, this is the SwissBuck, and let me see if I can grab a Wenger real quick. Alright, this one should be fine. We can compare all three. So, and this is a traditional Wenger. And as you can see, there's distinct differences in the shape of all three of them. The Wenger, the traditional Wenger, is kind of a little more flared blade, and the Victorinox is straighter, and, well, the difference between the SwissBuck is obvious. So, anyway, not so bad. Now, you also get the mean-looking Wenger can opener and the bottle opener, screwdriver, and wire stripper. The wire stripper being this little nub right here. And on the back, you get an awl. You get an awl, and this is the more traditional Wenger awl as opposed to the Victorinox awl, which I'll show you. The Victorinox awl versus the Wenger awl. You can see the Victorinox and the Wenger. And then you have the Phillips head screwdriver on the back. Not bad. Probably the closest to this one is the Tinker, this other knife that I have in my hand. And the main difference being the Tinker has the smaller knife blade, while this one has the nail file. So, but you get the Phillips head screwdriver on the back, and you also have the scale tools, and these are the inward-facing ones, like on the Wengers. You get the little metal tweezers, and I guess it's worth noting that the tips of the tweezers are metal versus the Victorinox ones that have a plastic end piece on them. And you get the toothpick. And this one also happens to have one of the little extra dangly chain key rings. Anyway, it's kind of a neat little knife. And they're not super expensive. I mean, they're still quite easy to find like new in the box, like new old stock on eBay, if you just keep an eye out. And if you're interested in one, what I recommend doing is set up like a eBay save search, and that way eBay will alert you if they pop up, and you won't have to constantly watch eBay. Anyway, it's kind of a neat little knife. What do y'all think? You like this one versus the traditional? I don't know. They're interesting, but I don't know how I feel about them. I kind of like them, but I don't know if I like them because they're an oddity, or if I like them like to carry one. I wonder. I kind of want to see what like a cyber tool, a SwissBuck cyber tool would be like. But anyway, that ship has sailed. There has to be. Man, I never thought about that, but I wonder what Wenger would have done with the cyber tool, like if they'd made their own entry into the cyber tool market. Because I mean, my everyday carry Swiss Army knife is the cyber tool light, this monstrosity. So I wonder what Wenger would have done with it. I bet whatever they did, it would be weird. Anyway, if you have any suggestions or questions, let me know in the comment. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I hope y'all have an excellent day.